Why so many believers stop at salvation but never enter the rest promised in Hebrews. The provocative question: what if the greatest spiritual struggle in your life is not a lack of faith, but a refusal to enter the rest? Yahweh has already provided. The book of Hebrews presents a startling warning. It is possible to believe, attend worship, know the scriptures, and still wander spiritually in a wilderness of anxiety, striving, and unbelief. Many have accepted the promise but never entered the reality. The urgent wake-up call. Why are so many believers exhausted despite claiming to trust Yahweh? Hebrews reveals that unbelief is not merely rejecting truth, it is refusing to fully surrender to it. The same heart that constantly strives for control cannot simultaneously live in covenant rest. Today, we uncover why spiritual rest remains one of the most neglected teachings in the body of believers. The transformation promise. You do not have to live trapped between fear and faith. The book of Hebrews provides a roadmap from striving to surrender, from spiritual exhaustion to confidence, and from uncertainty to unwavering trust. Discover how entering Yahweh's rest changes the way you think, pray, endure trials, and walk with Yeshua. Why so many believers stop at salvation but never enter the rest promised in Hebrews. Examine Hebrews, warning that an entire generation received a promise but failed to enter because of unbelief and disobedience. Explore the difference between intellectual belief and genuine trust that produces obedience. Reveal how modern culture conditions believers to depend on constant activity rather than covenant rest. The wilderness mindset that still exists today. Analyze how fear, doubt, comparison, and self-reliance mirror the attitudes that kept ancient Israel wandering. Identify the signs of a wilderness mentality hidden beneath modern religious activity. Show how striving for approval often replaces simple confidence in Yahweh's promises. The superior covenant of Yeshua. Explore why Hebrews presents Yeshua as greater than prophets, angels, Moses, and every earthly priesthood. Examine the significance of Yeshua as the eternal high priest who continually intercedes for believers. Demonstrate how the new covenant provides direct access to Yahweh through faith rather than human performance. The danger of spiritual drift. Investigate Hebrews' repeated warnings against gradual compromise and neglect. Explain how spiritual decline rarely happens suddenly, but through small acts of carelessness. Expose the subtle distractions of modern life that slowly pull believers away from intimacy with Yahweh. Faith that endures when circumstances do not change. Study the great examples of faith in Hebrews 11 and what their lives reveal about perseverance. Contrast biblical faith with the modern expectation of immediate results. Show how true faith remains anchored in Yahweh's character, even when promises seem delayed. The discipline of Yahweh and the formation of sons and daughters. Explain why Hebrews teaches that divine discipline is evidence of sonship rather than rejection. Explore how trials, correction, and refinement produce spiritual maturity. Reframe difficult seasons as opportunities for growth rather than signs of abandonment. The call to approach the throne with confidence. Reveal the extraordinary invitation found in Hebrews to approach Yahweh boldly through Yeshua. Discuss why many believers still live with an orphan mindset despite having access to divine grace. Show how confidence before Yahweh transforms prayer, worship, and daily living. Running the race with endurance. Examine the imagery of the race set before believers and the need to lay aside every weight. Identify modern distractions that hinder spiritual progress and kingdom focus. Emphasize the importance of fixing our eyes on Yeshua rather than temporary circumstances. The unshakable kingdom. Explore Hebrews' declaration that everything shakeable will be shaken. Discuss how current global uncertainty reveals where our true confidence is placed. show why believers must anchor themselves in the kingdom that cannot be moved. Living as citizens of the heavenly reality. Explain how Hebrews continually points believers beyond temporary earthly systems. Contrast earthly security with eternal inheritance. Challenge believers to live with an eternal perspective rather than a purely material focus. Entering the rest of Yahweh today. Conclude with the central message of Hebrews, that the promise of entering His rest remains available. Call believers to abandon striving, fear, and self-dependence. Invite them to trust fully in the finished work of Yahshua, the eternal high priest, and walk in the peace, endurance, and confidence that flow from complete surrender to Yahweh. This topic works well for worldwide truth because it combines end-times awareness, spiritual maturity, covenant theology, discipleship, and practical application from the book of Hebrews. All subjects that tend to generate strong engagement among believers seeking deeper biblical understanding.